Welcome, Boston, to our podcast. I'm going to introduce Boston. Mr. Boston, he is a representative of Merit Lenin in Middle East. He is one of the pioneers into technology and Merit Lenin, which is one of the biggest manufacturers in Taiwan for security cameras
Yeah,
and security technology.
yeah,
So, Boston, my first question to you is basically, what is AMPR?
yeah. So basically, MPR is the automatic number plate recognition,
Right,
which is the technology to use the OCR, objective characteristic recognition, in
right,
our camera to recognize the image of the record, the
right.
license plate, to get the data.
Yeah. So, what I want to understand is this AMPR camera. Why does it matter,
Yeah,
and why do we need it?
yeah. So if you think about it, if you are the owner of the parking lot,
Correct.
now you have several cars that will enter to your parking.
Correct.
So number one is you have to spend money on the token, which you have to stop, take token, and get a queue.
Correct.
The customer satisfaction will be lower since he or she has to wait in the
Correct.
queue. And the worst case, the queue will affect the public access to any room of that.
Correct.
Therefore, if we have AMPR camera, it's just to catch the license plate with the correct data, which was inbuilt in
So
advance.
what I want to understand is, so whenever I enter my building, I have a
Yeah,
parking card.
yeah,
So this parking
yeah.
card, I have to deposit a lot of cash, which is either for me it's 1,000 dirhams, but for multiple buildings there are multiple amount we have to deposit. So with this ANPR, can we stop using the card? Is it some technology where it recognizes your number and the barrier opens up?
Exactly. So
It's
the
like
camera itself could just connect to your barrier directly from
okay.
digital output
Mhm.
port. And from the software point of view, there's an inbuilt user interfaces, which you can use your PC like this to manage your data, either whitelist or blacklist. That is in a commercial or like residential building site, but in public area as well. Like for example, we have some project with some government where we help those government police department to reduce the manpower in the routine law enforcement part.
Correct.
So if you consider that the summer temperature in some country like UAE is 50 degrees C, it's not reasonable that you have police officer to always stand there to do a law enforcement, to check 24/7 who is breaking the traffic rules.
Correct.
Instead, the AMPR camera could replace such headache. Then 24/7 is working
Correct.
throughout the 30, 65 years, 365 days
Correct.
in a year. Therefore, we have separate models to handle such tasks for the government, like police, like who is breaking the rules, who is violating the direction, or who is actually over the speed and on highway.
So in terms of, so we are also looking it as in government buildings, or we are
Exactly.
looking it as with police departments. We
Yeah.
are looking also. So when I go to malls, so whenever I enter, so we
Yeah.
have to get a ticket,
Yeah.
and then we enter the mall. We do the parking for 2 3 hours.
Yeah.
When we come back, we pay for the ticket.
Yeah.
So can we also use the same PR into parking management?
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
the
Definitely.
number plate is recognized. So I
Definitely.
enter. So when I come out,
Yeah.
so it knows how much do I have to pay.
Exactly.
That also you can help with.
Yeah, let me give you one example. Like in Taiwan, like starting from 10 years ago, we have implemented AMPR camera into the parking system,
Correct.
and there are two benefits. The one is that the operator, they don't need to sit just beside the token machine
Correct.
or to monitor the car flow. Instead, the camera will do itself. So, you save the manpower, you
Mhm.
save the token charges, you save the electricity for your machine.
Mhm.
And the second benefit is, in terms of an operational flow, it's quite easy for your management because our software actually can give you the access easily through your notebook, through your PC. You can enter all the, passport detail of the blacklist of the license plate. So
Correct.
that guy cannot get access to your building or to your mall. Instead, if you have this AMPR camera, basically you can just manage the data. And in the end of the day, you have all the data available to you. For example, what is the time in between 8 to 5, for example? I
Correct.
got I got 1,000 cars during these 8 hours.
Correct.
Therefore, I know which day I should deploy more manpower inside my building.
because that's something new. I mean, most of us would be interested in this technology.
Yeah.
So our viewers as well, or the whole UAE and then whole Middle East
Yeah.
would be interested in this technology. I also want to understand. So if it can recognize number plates,
Yeah.
it can recognize its faces as well, correct?
Yes.
So if we, for example, if there's a fire emergency, so if we put this camera outside a building,
Yeah.
it will count people. So
Yeah.
number of heads, how many people went inside,
Yeah.
and how many people came out.
Yeah.
So that also in fire emergencies or any kind of emergency, earthquake, so the people could, the security or the government would know
Yeah.
how many people went in and how many people are out.
Yes,
That is correct.
this is a very important point because we have developed one age license we
Correct.
call fire and smoke. The camera itself can learn, can understand the early sign of the fire and smoke.
When you said learn, does it mean it has AI built chips or anything
Exactly.
which like
So
machine learning?
yes, inside each of our camera, this series it has an AI chipset inside.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
use the machine learning and deep learning algorithm.
Mhm.
We feed significant volume of the data, and the good thing is AI can learn by itself. So it
Okay.
can interpret different kinds of possibility by themselves.
Mhm.
That's a good thing. And also, instead of make the situation too seriously. In the early stage, you detect the fire and smoke.
Correct.
So you can trigger the alarm from your firefighting system,
Correct.
and we can avoid such kind of losses.
And so
Yeah.
let's say we make a camera learn so whenever it recognizes your face, it knows it's boss in loop.
Yeah.
Or when I come in through the door, or we do attendance management or time management, so we can know it can recognize a face and tell you which person came into the door.
Exactly.
So that's basically in big malls or let's say big buildings, we can recognize their time attendance, right?
Yes.
That we can do.
We can do that.
That's wonderful technology. I mean, the viewers should know we are the partners of Merit Lenin in Middle East, and we provide, and Boston represents Merit Lenin in Middle East. So we are coming up with new technologies. We're coming up with new camera security systems, and then what I also want to understand is what about villas? So the camera, what kind of cameras can we provide in villas?
Two types of camera. The first camera is of course the AI camera, which can help you to know who is your visitors,
Okay.
or if you have a staff there who attend the building on time, or he or she got delayed, etc. The second type of camera we call E series.
E-series.
E series. It covers bullet to
Mhm.
dot to two type of camera, which is commonly used in a villa, and you can sustain the resolution at least 5 megapixel.
Okay.
So it give you very high resolution image, plus the safety, features such as
Safety,
motion.
yeah, this is very important for any of the villas where I have been in a conversation with the owners, or I have been in conversation with the consultants or engineers.
Yeah.
The very important question which comes into play is security,
Yeah.
or let's say safety, or what kind of safety features it has.
Yeah.
Does it, if there's a motion, or if there in the night, during night, if there's a motion, would it basically detect or would it alarm
Yes.
the owners?
Yes, it do. So the built-in security feature, one of them is motion.
Okay.
So whenever there's a motion, either it's like your own person or it's outcomers, it will raise an alarm. The second thing is the camera itself is robust. So basically, those camera can sustain UAE weather and
Correct.
temperatures for more than 50 degrees C in the summer.
So there's
it
motion, there's sound alarm. If there's a noise,
Yeah.
can it ring an alarm?
It can alarm by itself.
And can we also set time? Let's say people usually go to sleep at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So can we set time 11 p.m. in the evening to morning, let's say 7 a.m.
Yes.
Then it can trigger alarm if there is any motion there in the fence.
The good news is the answer is yes.
Mhm.
And the second good news is we can just use our PC
Okay.
to log into your web interfaces to set those time slot. Like for example, from 8 to 5 in the daytime. But just deactivate from 6 to 6 a.m. across the line. So you can set up the
Right.
target.
So now the most important question for viewers would be definitely why is it better than any other camera?
Yeah.
Let's say I know because I've seen the camera, I've been using the camera in our office. I know the quality of the camera is amazing. It can stand the weather, it can stand the heat, it can stand rain, snow, and it's built metal. It's metal, right?
Yep.
And what are your thoughts on this camera? What is the quality of the camera in respect to the cameras we have already in the market?
Yeah, yeah.
And where do we stand out? My main question, the viewers, me, we have the main question
For
is
sure.
where do we stand?
For sure. If I'm in your shoes, I also have the same
Question, right?
perspective and the same question. Yeah. So from my own perspective, and the first difference is that for each kind of the project, we provide a tailored, customized solution for that.
Correct.
Instead of I just give you this. This called commodity.
Mhm.
For us, this is a solution.
Correct.
Therefore, we have to give you the overall solutions. Especially, for example, your company, your esteemed organization is focusing on smart home, therefore, or some villa projects, we can always have a dedicated project and a customized solution to get it together.
So we can actually, target big communities like Dawak, Imar, big of these communities where
We
they're
can,
building massive number of villas,
we
which is
can.
let's say 100 villas, more than 100 villas. So we can actually, give the whole security solutions to the whole community.
Yes, exactly. And the good thing is, we can customize that. So each project is customizable.
Mhm.
So I will give you one example. In Italy, we have one like parking owner. He
Correct.
really want to make his parking fully automated because you can imagine that in Italy the manpower is high.
Correct.
So once we talk to them, they say, "Hey, you know what? AI is significant tools to solve this issue." And he said, "No, no, no, it's too expensive." Then we show up how we actually help him to do that. Instead of having the heavy equipment for the back end server, we use the front end, the edge camera to solve the AMPR, and we write the software for them to connect to their barrier to their parking machine and their camera systems.
Correct.
Therefore, they can save significant amounts of budget to
Correct.
create to reach the same core value, the core reason of the project. Therefore, for each kind of project, even in UAE, we can customize that for.
Of course, that's what we have for Elite
Yeah.
Smart Innovations plus Merit Len. We've been one of the pioneers into providing security to all of UAE.
Yeah.
So I'm looking into business with the more of the government people, more of big corporates, more of in communities.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to work it together.
Yeah. Perfect.
Thanks a lot, boss.
Thank you. Thank you very much.